Hey, wrestling fans, welcome to the One Wing Wrestling Podcast, where we help you navigate the complex world of pro wrestling, bring you the best matches, world class wrestlers, and news you can count on. At One Wing Wrestling, we bring the elite to you. My name is Krishna and joining me, as always, is Mr. Bill Cupbush. Bill, how's it going?
It is going. It's going. It's hot. It's hot here in Toronto
It's
today.
warm.
Yeah.
It's the first day of summer. So,
I made the mistake of doing like a 6K walk and then or 7K walk and then coming home and doing the backyard. So yeah, I was like, I came inside at one point. I was like, I need water now. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun, but all good now. All good. So yeah,
nice.
how was
Okay.
your day?
It was good. It was good. Again, it's warm outside. Just a busy day, as usual. But yeah, no, it was a nice day in the city. Not really much to discuss. Like I was listening to some like wrestling stuff earlier, just trying to see if any news had come out about Forbidden Door and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that's
Kind
about
of
it.
quiet. But the city will be, I hesitate to use the word jumping because it's like such a bit, I don't know. It's going to be jumping, man. It's going to be Sunday. So,
Mm-hmm.
because we do, in fact,
Mm-hmm.
well, Saturday night we have Collision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saturday afternoon, they're having a meet and greet at Scotiabank Arena too, I do believe.
Oh,
But you have
okay.
to have a Collision ticket to get
Oh,
in.
that's well, I guess okay. Well,
So you're gonna get 200 people there. That's
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Yeah, and then on Sunday, I shouldn't make fun. I really wish that Collision will be quite successful. So, because that's good for AEW and it's good for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunday, we've got Smash Femme Fatale show. We've
Mm-hmm.
got Smash Defy Progress, and then we have the pièce de résistance, AEW Forbidden Door, AEW
Forbidden Door.
New Japan Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
Yes. So that makes tonight's Dynamite the go home show for Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming to us tonight from Chicago. And what we're going to do tonight, as we always do on these shows, is we're going to look at the card, predict the card, figure out what we're going to like, what we might not, rank the matches. And then we're going to go watch the show and see if our expectations were met, see what was good, what was bad. Come back, review it with all of you. And most importantly, did anything reach that all important Omega level?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the limb here, and I'm gonna say nothing's gonna reach the mega level tonight, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's sad, right? This is the go home show for
Mm-hmm.
Forbidden Door, and I'm with you. There is exactly two things on this show I'm excited for tonight. Two things that I'm excited for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, hey, I'm sure it'll be a great show. It'll be a good Dynamite. I'm not concerned that it'll be a bad Dynamite. I just think that it's not. Well, here's the thing. I realized this. I was thinking about it today while I was listening to some podcasts too, right? And I have very high expectations for Forbidden Door. Maybe too high. I mean, I every time they announce this, I've got like this list of dream matches in my head. And you know what? I got two of them.
Yeah.
So you know what? We're not waiting for Ospreay Omega for Wembley, although they may give him at Wembley too.
Yeah.
But we're not waiting for that at Wembley. We're getting it in a couple of days, a few days from now. We're getting Kazuchika Okada and Bryan Danielson. That's going to be amazing. And we'll see what else we get on this. MJF versus Tanahashi, probably going to be pretty good, right? But anyway, let's get into tonight's Dynamite card and see if
Did,
we can see any implications for
well, did you hear
Forbidden.
what Kenny Omega said in his interview? I think he interviewed on TSN or something recently.
No, I
Um,
didn't.
he basically said that if Will can't beat him
Oh,
in
I did hear
Canada,
this
yeah,
comment. Yeah.
then there's no point of him ever going back to Japan.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, I've done all I can. If Will can't beat me here, then there's no point in me ever going back to Japan.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn it. I mean, Will Ospreay's gonna beat
He's
Kenny
like,
Omega here.
well, it means he says he's just going to walk away with the title. They aren't going to
Yeah.
see that title for a very
Yep.
prolonged period of time because he's just going to leave with it.
Yep. We'll
Yep.
see. We'll see.
Hey,
Okay.
but you know what? That start, and we'll talk about that when we do our preview
Mhm.
of Forbidden Door later in the week in more detail, because I suspect that match will probably take up the majority of
Yep.
our commentary. Um, yeah, that story can go either way,
Hmm.
and both stories make sense. So
Yep.
that's what I love about this feud is that it absolutely up in the air who wins because both stories are good stories, right? But we're not getting them tonight on Dynamite. What we're getting so far announced 3 segments and 5 or 6 matches. I'll get to what I mean by that in a minute. There is a rumor that CM Punk will appear tonight, but it has not officially been announced. So it's not one of the segments we have, but there's a good chance we'll see CM Punk because, as Wrestling Observer Newsletter reported, to follow up on Denai's dirt sheet from Monday, Kenny Omega and the Bucks will not be there tonight. So, yeah, no elite on this show at all on the lead up to Forbidden Door. That makes total sense. Of course, you know what this could mean, though? We're getting the elite on Collision this Saturday.
Maybe. But it's interesting because they're in Chicago. The elite had pre-taped their segments apparently weeks ago, so it doesn't matter. So it's just continuing the storyline. I guess it makes sense. I mean, Chicago, CM Punk. Hey, apparently CM Punk drew 800,000 or something like that on Collision for Saturday. That's what Sean Ross Sapp was saying. I was like, impressive. Okay.
Yep. Not a bad opening.
Chicago. Again, Chicago, right? They're probably banking on the same thing today, right? And now CM Punk doesn't have a match for Forbidden Door yet. So maybe tonight, if he shows up, maybe, right? Maybe.
Well, they have a poster out for the meet and greet at Scotiabank Arena. And they have on the poster Hiroshi Tanahashi, Sonata. I believe it's Kazuchika Okada. I could be wrong with the third one, but it's someone who already has a match announced. And Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So if Ishii is on the poster, he's probably fighting at Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Sean Ross Sapp actually was saying that again that it looks like the Kenta match is not going through, not because of Punk, apparently because of Kenta. So I was like, oh, okay. Again, it could be priorities, maybe something, because remember, he's the one that kind of tweeted about it, but it's not happening right now, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, maybe Ishii, maybe something like this. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, again, the crowd's gonna pop. Punk comes out. Not sure what. I'm assuming if he comes out today, it's obviously going to be setting up a match for him at Forbidden Door, right? I think Saturday is way too late to set up a match for him at Forbidden Door. You do it now if you want to, like, just, again, I don't know, like, sell some more pay-per-views or maybe sell out the arena if it's not already sold out. So that's the only reason I kind of see him, plus the ratings, but I mean, that's the only reason I see him coming out tonight.
Right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, we'll see what happens. But to get to the segments we actually have announced, we have Adam Cole speaking.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I mean, now is he gonna say that, hey, I lost, I'll fight my way back to the top, kind of thing? Like, is this what it is? Like, I'll fight anybody, like, anyone. Will Adam Cole get challenged for Forbidden Door? Right? Because AEW is pushing him to be the top babyface, it seems, right? So will Adam Cole be will someone come out and challenge Adam Cole, saying that, hey, why you deserve a shot, right? You lost to MJF, right? Maybe they're setting up a match for Adam Cole. But yeah, my assumption is he's gonna come out, just talk about the belt, talk about how he's gonna work his way back up to the top, and someone's gonna challenge him.
Yeah, sure. I think he's going to complain that, of course, he didn't actually lose. Because he didn't, technically. Well, I mean, advantage champion, but it was a draw. It was literally a draw. So both sides can go blah, blah, blah. So it's unresolved. And I'm pretty sure that's how he's going to do it. So I think he's going to come at it from, I deserve another shot at this eliminator because, I had him. It was only because it was a time limit draw that I didn't get it. And yeah, and then someone else is going to come out and challenge him for Forbidden Door, and then he's going to have a match. But who
steps to that door?
Yes, maybe Tomohiro Ishii.
Maybe.
Because you know what Adam Cole really needs? To get chopped really hard constantly. Oh, no, I suspect if someone comes out to challenge him, it probably will not be Ishii, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe he's not on Forbidden Door.
Maybe.
Bryan Danielson, though, will be calling out Kazuchika Okada.
Well, we know Okada is obviously coming for Forbidden Door. Maybe he's in the city already, right? So, or I guess he'd be in Chicago. Yeah. So, my assumption is he comes out. They have a face off, but remember the Blackpool Combat Club also do not have anything to do with Forbidden Door right now, minus Danielson. Do they attack Okada? Right? Do they beat him down? And would Chaos come out to help him?
Chaos
People
has a
from
lot
Japan?
of members. So,
Well, exactly, but like who
yes.
from Japan, right? Like that's my question. I'm not talking Rocky Romero or anything like that. I'm talking like legit like people from Japan coming out to help Okada,
Right.
and setting up a match. I don't know, right? I don't know.
Well, we shall see, because I think I think you're probably right. I mean, it could definitely set up something, right? Let's see. Current members. Well, Kris Statlander. No, but we have Yo, we have Yoshihashi, we have Toru Yano, we've got Tomohiro Ishii.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah, we got Hiroki Goto, right? I mean, we've got some, like, there's your tag champs right there, right? Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. So, we know they're not losing their belts because of
no,
but I mean,
it's a triple threat, yeah.
right?
Or
If it's a trios,
trios,
then yeah, you can do like Goto, Yoshihashi, and say Ishii against the Blackpool Combat Club, and that's going to kick ass.
Yeah, and so, Ishii is there, right? So,
yep.
Hey, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that would be a really good match. Or if you really wanted to counter and you wanted to put someone in the ring that is just going to show off like crazy, right? You give it Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Yo. Right. Okay. And save Ishii to fight, say, someone one-on-one. But those three against the Blackpool Combat Club would also be great because Yo is your kind of wrestler.
Okay.
So he'd do well against Wheeler Yuta, for example.
Fair. Okay.
So yeah, I think that would be decent. So that's kind of what I'd be hopeful for, is say a trio like that coming out for Chaos. But yeah. Well, we're also setting up an AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, and there may be a match tonight too. It's a little bit unclear whether or not they're doing a match to me. But they're doing the draw at the very least for the AEW Tag Team Eliminator Tournament. The winner gets a title shot at the Tag Team Championships held by FTR currently.
And obviously not Forbidden Door stuff. So like, okay, I guess odd time to start the tournament, but sure, you could have just waited till after Forbidden Door to start the tournament, right? But
yeah,
but okay, sure.
Well, this is why I think that maybe the first match is not happening tonight, because perhaps they are waiting till next week's Dynamite to kick the tournament off, and it's going to be like a Dynamite tournament while the Owen Hart tournament's being done on Collision.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yep. And of course it's a tag team tournament, so but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Since the, tag champs are Collision property partly. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm not super hyped for this tournament either, because I'm like, what, would the Acclaimed gonna win? Get another shot? I don't know. Anyway.
Do the Bucks enter it? Do the Bucks win?
No, the Hardys.
You don't think so? Oh no, well, maybe.
I mean, don't forget they're supposed to get that one last run or whatever,
the Hardys,
right? The Hardys versus FTR. There you go. Speaking of the Hardys, tonight they're one of the matches that we have announced of the 5 matches we have, other than the blind eliminator tournament possibility, but 5 matches announced other than that. Hardys versus the Guns to determine the best brother tag team in AEW.
This is so ridiculous. I don't care for this match. I'm like, the Guns are gonna lose. Hardy's gonna win. Like, I don't know. This match no one asked for. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, I'm looking at, like, let's say there's 5.
Yeah, I'm assuming 5.
Ooh, there's some not so great matches on here today. I'm gonna say number 4. This match is gonna be number 4.
It's my number 4 too. It's like, I look at this, and on a lot of Dynamites, I'll be like, yep, this is taking the bottom spot. This week it's not. So yeah, I don't care about this match at all.
Yeah, same.
I'm sure parts of it will be decent wrestling, but I just don't care at all. But we do have Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata taking on Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yep. So this match is probably going to be the match of the night, just by the guys in the ring, like all four of these guys. Probably setting up Forbidden Door as well, right? Obviously, Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be fantastic. So yeah, this is going to be match of the night.
Oh, easily match of the night. I mean, and again, we're talking about Orange Cassidy, match of the night, right? The amount of good matches this guy puts on is just insane, right? Katsuyori Shibata, great. Daniel Garcia, great. Zack Sabre Jr., superlative. so yeah, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a great match. I am very much looking forward to this match. I really hope it sets up Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy for Forbidden Door. And you know what? Shibata versus Garcia for the next Ring of Honor big event too would be pretty great. So there you go. This could set up 2 matches. See, isn't it great to have a match that's building to something epic?
Yep.
Perhaps like the TBS championship match, Kris Statlander versus Taya Valkyrie.
I thought they were building this match as it was going to be something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Taya Valkyrie wants her revenge. She's going to lose. This is going to be match number 3. I do have my fingers crossed that there is Forbidden Door implications to this match. Statlander is our women's champion. I do kind of hope that it's not Willow Nightingale or something like that.
Krishna.
Sorry, she's a TBS championship. Sorry,
yes.
TBS champion. I don't know. To be honest with you.
Krishna, New Japan doesn't have any women.
Oh yes, that's right. That is right.
Their women are either Willow Nightingale or Stardom, and we know Stardom is not showing up.
Okay. Well,
so
nothing.
Nothing. This match is a big whopping load of number 5 on my list. Nothing. Because I don't have faith in Taya Valkyrie to put on a great match. I like Kris Statlander, but against Taya Valkyrie, yeah. So I actually think the Guns versus Hardys will be a better wrestle match because for all the criticism I give the Guns, as much they can wrestle pretty well.
They can.
You know, I mean, they do a bit of a WWE style, and you know the Hardys can be entertaining. So you know what? I'm gonna bet that match is more entertaining than this one too, which will help it be number 4 for me. And this match to be number 5. Concession stand brawl. Jeff Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, I put this match as number 5 because I was like, I don't understand this match. I'm like, again, another match. Like last week they had the Aubrey match with Papa Briscoe. Now they're having this concession stand. It's gimmick match after gimmick match after gimmick match. Very, very WWE-ish. So I'm like, number 5.
I gave it number 3, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I have sat a few feet away from Mark Briscoe fighting hardcore matches. He's very good at them. This is his wheelhouse in a lot of ways, right? I mean, he's a great wrestler, but he can also do this kind of stuff really well. So I have faith that he's going to pull off some pretty cool stuff in this match.
Nice. Yeah.
I could be wrong, and this could easily like plummet to number 5 on my list. But I have faith in Mark Briscoe.
Okay.
I don't have a ton of faith in Jeff Jarrett, but I have faith in Mark Briscoe. The problem, what could plummet this match is if it's just shenanigans and like, you know, Dean Ambrose style ketchup and mustard from a hot dog cart or something like that. If that's what we're getting, it's going to suck. But if we're getting like, okay, they're in the concession stand, but there's a lot of weapons. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Depends the direction they go with this. I remain hopeful that Mark Briscoe will pull off something cool. Well, then we have match number 5, the trios match. Kris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, you know, Sammy getting his test match there with Jericho, and Minoru Suzuki taking on Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox.
I put this as obviously my second match, right? Because it's by elimination. Yeah, this match is gonna be great. I like Sammy. Jericho can put on great matches, and the other guys too. I mean, this is gonna be hopefully it's gonna be a fun match. For some reason, I assumed from last week's promo it was gonna be Sting and Darby in this match as well, but I guess no, they never really said that. So that was me just looking into it too much. Sure, whatever. I would rather see these other guys than Sting. Than Sting. I mean, Darby, yeah, I like to see Darby, but Sting, he needs to wrestle on special occasions, right?
Right.
So we'll let him off the hook.
But are we
But yeah,
getting? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go.
No, no, that was it. I think it's gonna be a good match. Number two.
Yeah. The way I can see Sting getting involved in this is Minoru Suzuki being there. First of all, it's gonna be fun watching him chop the living out of like Action Andretti or something, because like how? Because he can kill people. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we got a Minoru Suzuki Sting match at Forbidden Door. It might be very interesting. Am I think it's going to be great? No. But we need matches like that on the card that's filled with things like Ospreay and Omega and,
Yeah,
you know,
you need fillers.
hopefully Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. You know, you need to breathe. You need to use the bathroom. You need to hit the merch stands.
That's
right?
true.
But,
That's
I mean,
true. Well, from what I hear, the merch stand empties very quickly. So I don't know how much merch you're gonna get. So
well, hopefully
we'll
they brought more merch this year.
apparently it's just an AEW thing. It's not like based on like previous years. It's that every show they're apparently sold out of merch, and there's one merch location and one line. That's what I've been hearing. So I fingers crossed.
That makes me so well, yes, but is that still the case at Forbidden Door when they have like New Japan selling merch too?
We'll see.
I guess we'll find out, won't we? If yeah, I don't know. Then I start to weigh, is it really important for me to get that shirt here now? But anyway, that is our card for tonight. So I mean, there's some implications for Forbidden Door, but I mean, the matches that we're building are going to be around, Tomohiro Ishii's probably going to make an appearance somewhere. We've got Minoru Suzuki, possibility of some Chaos guys. That really seems to be about it here, though. Right? Well, Zack Sabre Jr. and Orange Cassidy, but that seems to be about it. Now, does it matter given we've got Danielson and Okada and Ospreay and Omega? I would have liked to see Kyle Fletcher on this card somewhere.
Yeah,
that would have been pretty great. I guess we'll find out. See, I'm already talking about Forbidden Door again, and we have Dynamite because it's Dynamite. But on that note, we should go and watch this show.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're going to go watch the show. But to all of you, it's going to seem like we were never gone. And that was Dynamite. And it came to us from Chicago, Illinois at the Wintrust Arena. Did they win our trust? Let's find out. We have Tony, Taz, and Excalibur. That was a terrible line. Tony, Taz, and Excalibur on commentary. And we open up with the Hardys versus the Guns. That's right. Hardys came out with some solid double team moves from their greatest hits until Colton blindsided Jeff. Guns took control, working Jeff over till he made the hot tag to Matt. Matt had a flurry, ending with the twist of fate on Austin, but Colton put Austin's foot on the ropes. Then the story became the Guns taking shortcuts to gain constant advantage on the Hardys until Jeff hit a double DDT in the twist of fate on Colton. He went for the senton, but the Bullet Club Gold interfered, knocking Jeff off the top and allowing the Guns to hit the 310 to Yuma for the 3.
I do like the 310 to Yuma, so I should say. It's a cool finishing move, right? For the Guns. They did well. Honestly, before the interference, which we kind of knew was going to happen. I kind of once the Bullet Club goes, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. But no, it was a fun match. Like, you know what? It wasn't slow in any way. The Guns wrestled, like typical heel wrestling, but they do it well. That's the problem, right? They do it like they don't mess up on anything. You know what I mean? Like there's no like mistakes. They're good. They're probably if they were on WWE, they should probably be like a top tag team on there, right? But no, this match was fun. I it was my number 3 match. I thought it was. I had fun with it. I thought the Hardys had their moments, the Guns had their moments. And then the ending, I was like, when it happened, I was like, oh. Okay, I should have seen this coming, but I didn't at the beginning. But yeah, no, this match was okay. I mean, I had fun with it.
Yeah, it is also my number 3 match.
There
And
we
we
go.
did only end up with 5 matches
5.
on this show. So
Yeah.
yes, we had a lot of talking on this show.
Mhm.
Yeah, so no, it was my number 3 matches. So the match was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing in it. It's the kind of match where you watch it and you go, that was good. That was entertaining, but there's
Mhm.
nothing in it you're going to remember tomorrow when you wake
Yeah,
up. You know what I
true.
mean? Like there isn't a spot where you're going, oh man, that spot was amazing, or holy crap, that match, or anything like that, right? It was, and Jeff's still looking a little on the rusty side,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the match was okay. The match
But
was okay.
he's looking
Yeah.
healthy. So
I
that's the good part.
that 100%,
Yeah.
100%. You can see it in his eyes and stuff,
Yeah.
right? But in all seriousness, the Guns, I am hating them less. I think they fit in really well with Jay White and
Yeah.
Juice Robinson. If
Yeah.
they end up as part of Bullet Club Gold, I'm now okay with that because I think they actually make a decent addition. But and they seem to be with them because after the match, Bullet Club Gold and the Guns then beat up the Hardys until Ricky Starks and FTR come in and make the save. But the Hardys are out of it because they've had the crap kicked out of them. So it's 4-on-3 again. The beatdown continues until CM Punk runs out for the save. And they beat off all 4 guys. He almost hits Juice Robinson with the GTS, and then Punk tells them they can all fight next week together on Collision because he's a Collision guy and he's not even supposed to be here.
Interesting choice of words when they beat off all 4 guys. But they yeah, it was it's funny because he did say next week on Collision, where it's really just Saturday.
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay, so last week's match was the Bullet Club versus CMFDR, Bullet Club and Samoa Joe versus CMFDR. Now it's the Bullet Club and the Guns versus CMFDR and Ricky Stark. So they're just consistently just adding people into these groups to face off against CM Punk and FDR. That's back to back. It's a
Yeah.
little lazy, but hey, the fans liked it. I was kind of like, okay, cool. You set up a match for your, I guess, your main event
Right.
on Collision. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Well, don't forget, Krishna. We are scum of the earth Torontonians, as Don Callis and Will Ospreay let us know later, but we'll get to that later. But
mm,
this is why we look at this and we go, okay, whatever, because apparently, though, as Dave Meltzer said, Toronto wrestling fans are ahead of the curve.
we are.
Yes. But I look at this match and I go, and shrug.
Yeah.
You know, CM Punk came out. It's the first time, since Collision, so the first time I've seen him on Dynamite since he disappeared. And I was just kind of like, I don't care. I just don't. Like, I kind of feel like this is almost like a step back for AEW. It's supposed to be a big step forward with Collision, but I don't know. There's an aura right now that bothers me, and I'm not sure what it is. It's just a gut feeling, and we'll see what happens. Gut feelings are not, facts. They're not anything. It's just a gut feeling.
Well, he's still doing his heelish stuff where, well, that being CM Punk, where he runs into the ring, he grabs the mic, and then he takes off the AEW sign and tosses the little mic box, right? He did it again before he started talking today. I was like, okay, sure. If this leads to something, that'd be great. If you are going to do a heel turn, great. Maybe in Chicago, you can't be heel because you're loved there. But maybe this is heel for him.
I guess
we'll see. We'll see.
I've seen heel from Punk. This sounds more like Punk just being Punk, but
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. We then get a video recap of Jarrett and Briscoe's little feud, and Jarrett says Briscoe's responsible for the whole situation. And this starts the concession stand brawl, which I had said I had high hopes that Mark Briscoe would be able to pull off a good match here with Jeff Jarrett. And you said, nah, it'll be a shenanigan-filled mess. Krishna, I bow to your superior intellect. Briscoe sent Jarrett through a table early, sort of, beating him down for a while. It was a brawl, but of course involving condiments, popcorn, and hot dogs. The match was Briscoe fighting alone versus Jarrett and his disguised cronies throughout the match. First, you got Karen squirting ketchup in his eyes. Dutch shoved him off a ladder through a table shortly thereafter. Apparently, they all just were like, "We're wearing hoodies. This makes us invisible," allowing Jarrett to take control. All three brawled down to the ring. Briscoe nailed Jarrett with a chair, but Lethal got involved then. All three beat him down at ringside, then in the ring, making it a 3-on-1 handicap match until Jay Lethal discovers Papa Briscoe at ringside. Papa takes out all three guys until Karen low blows him. Mark Briscoe recovers, goes for the J Driller, but Satnam Singh now shows up and choke slams him. Then Christopher Daniels, the Best Friends, and the Lucha Brothers all come down for the save, and Mark Schoolboys Jarrett for the win.
Yeah, I laughed when they're at the condiment stand and Taz said you have to remember to put on your condiments, and Tony Schiavone called him out. Yeah, this match is just like a I don't know what this is, just a shenanigan fest match. Like I was happy to see the Lucha Brothers out run out. That's who I was happy when I saw Ray Phoenix fly out. I was like, yeah, Ray's here. But it didn't like nothing made sense, right? It just things just happen. So yeah, I don't understand what they're doing. Number 5 for me. I don't
Yeah,
get
number
it.
5 for me too. I just this was dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
this is how you used Ray Phoenix on Dynamite this
Yep.
week. Yeah, okay, whatever. I did this, whatever. Why did this get time on Dynamite? Why? Why?
I
Why?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't care. It was a shenanigan filled mess.
Mhm.
This was like barely a 2-star match, if that. I'd give it like half a star. It was like there was a couple good spots, I guess, so maybe 3/4 of a star. But man, this was terrible.
Yeah.
Wasting my time, Tony. Wasting my time. Then we get the black cool, the black cool. Ooh,
They
there
are.
is a Freudian slip if I ever heard one. The Black Cool Combat Club. So we get the Blackpool Combat Club backstage with Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita. They recap the end of last week's show. Moxley says the only 3 letters that matter. We all know this: BCC, Blackpool Combat Club. We define pro wrestling in 2023. Tell me where he's lying. Go ahead. Show me where he's telling lies.
Listen, everything this guy says now, like, and we'll jump to the when we get to the end, we'll get to the end. It's gold,
Yep.
right?
He goes, we've assembled an amazing team. So they've got, him, Wheeler, and Claudio, and Konosuke
Oh,
Takeshita and Shota Umino. And he goes, we'll take on the elite in a 5-on-5 match. Right. And then Danielson pipes in and says, Okada, you're not even here. So many people call you the best in the world. But in the ring with me, you're nothing but an amateur. I'm going to go out to the ring, call you out. And if you don't show up, I'll prove to everyone what I said was true. You're an amateur and a coward.
yeah. This promo was fantastic. I mean, just watching Takeshita there in his black jacket, I'm like, yo, this guy looks like a Terminator, man. This guy
Oh,
looks
I
so
know.
cool. And Don Callis there as well. Like, it's just so awesome. Like, they're all in like just in black and looking like sleek and this is awesome. Mox just, when he said 5, I was like, wait a minute, but Kenny has a match. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so that's 3,
Mm-hmm.
including Hangman. I'm like, are they going to use the Dark Order to complete this?
That would have been awesome.
Right, but we'll get to it when we get to
Yes.
it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, this was awesome. This was so cool.
Yes. Then we get a recap of Collision. Oh yeah, I also thought it was really cool. In case people didn't realize this, Konosuke Takeshita and Shota Umino with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Ooh,
That's like the team of the pay-per-view.
yeah.
Anyway. Then we get Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki taking on Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox. AR Fox got a chant to start the match, and he was apparently very over with this crowd.
Mhm.
He's not from Chicago. They
Oh,
just
interesting.
really like AR Fox.
Because he's awesome. That's
Yeah.
why.
Guevara and Andretti had a good exchange to open the match. Suzuki gets the advantage on Martin with some hard forearms, though. Then Jericho and Suzuki did the pose Jericho usually does with Sammy, which was pretty
That was
funny.
funny.
Fox was taking it to Jericho, though, until Sammy kneed him in the back and Jericho took over, allowing them to work Fox over for quite a while. Sammy hit a Bandito style delayed brainbuster. Fox eventually hit the hot tag to Andretti, who takes it to Jericho, including hitting Sammy with an incidental tope suicida in the process. He went for the split leg six-legged moonsault, but Jericho dodged. Match broke down. Everyone hitting their big moves, including Sammy hitting a double cutter and Martin doing a big dive to the floor. Andretti rolled up Jericho for two and hit the shooting star press that he beat him with before, but only got a 2 count this time. And this led to a big waterfall moment. Everyone hitting big moves again, including Suzuki with his Gotch-style pile driver. It ended in a flatliner by Darius for a near fall, but Jericho soon locked on the Lion Tamer for the submission on Martin. And that was the end of the match.
Yeah, no, the Sammy, Suzuki, and Jericho were such a fun team to watch. Like, and obviously the other three, Martin, Andretti, and Fox, right? They're obviously just so fast. Like I miss Dante. Just watching them wrestle, I miss Dante. But yeah, this was fun. Like you don't always see Jericho win with the Lion Tamer. I like this finish. I really like this finish, right? So it's like, wait, so Jericho did what he said he was going to do. He's going to show Sammy how good it was to be tagging with him. Like what did he call it?
The Suzuki gods.
The Suzuki gods, right?
Yes.
I like that. That was cool. Yeah, this match was fun. This was my number 2 match. I had so much fun with the match. So fast paced. Jericho taking some licks in this match. Holy crap! Like he was taking, so his chest was so red at the ending. I love when Darius like kind of stiff-armed Suzuki, and Suzuki just smiles and then knocks him out.
The crowd chanting, "You fucked up."
It's so funny, so funny. I love these young guys. They're getting reps in with like these like pros and like these older guys. They must be loving it. They must be absolutely loving it.
I think it was during the commercial break, but did you catch the "Murder Grandpa" chant they gave to Minoru Suzuki?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, that must have been during the commercial break because they were "Murder Grandpa."
No, he was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was. Yeah,
awesome.
no, I love this match. This match was also my number 2. Really good match. I mean, you got all the great stuff from the 3 guys in the other corner. I love the way Darius kept trying to stand up to Minoru Suzuki, like you said. It was good stuff all around. It was such an interesting team because they've got 3 guys with slightly different styles, with Suzuki, Guevara, and Jericho, right? And watching the 3 of them, it was so good, right? They make such a great trio. So yeah, it'd be nice if Suzuki could stick around for a while. And these guys could like beat the crap out of the Acclaimed once they win the trios titles. That would be pretty great. But sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah. And then after the match, Renee Paquette joins the winners in the ring. And she said, "What was that moment with Sting like last week?" And Jericho grabs the mic away, of course, and says, "Sting and Jericho in the ring for the first time ever was a monumental moment in wrestling history, but I wasn't excited because I know Sting. Selfish, egotistical, claims to be a hero, but shows up where the highest bidder is. He's not a harlequin, he's a whore." So the Suzuki gods challenge Sting, Darby, and a partner to face them Sunday at Forbidden Door, that he doesn't think Sting will accept because he's a coward. And of course, Sting now comes out with Darby. And Sting asked Jericho why he's so uptight. He's like, "We had a great moment, but a moment isn't long enough. He needs some time with Jericho on Sunday," so they accept the challenge. And Darby says Jericho's made a lot of enemies in a lot of places, but we won't find out who their partner is until Collision, to massive boos from the crowd.
Yeah.
Because they have to wait like 3 more days just to tell us who the partner is.
Yeah. That but you figured they were gonna do something like that, right? Because they do want to draw people into watching Collision, which I'm okay with. It's fine. I'm being selfish here because I'm kind of like, like I didn't mind this at all because hey, we're getting Sting and Jericho for the first time ever in Toronto. Like no, ever.
Yes.
And we're getting them in Toronto at Forbidden Door. That's pretty epic, right? I mean, like we're gonna be there, so we're gonna say, hey, we saw Sting versus Jericho for the first time ever in history.
Yes.
Right, and we were there, so that's kind of cool. I'm actually happy that that's happening. And yeah, I was fine with this promo. Like I've been really like Jericho is hilarious as usual. And I hope they bring their A game because the Suzuki gods put on quite the show today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's going to depend on that partner. See, I thought when they announced this, I'm like, oh, they're going to get Ishii.
Same. And then we find out later.
And then it's not Ishii, right?
Yeah.
And I have no idea who else is in Naito. Naito would be a good choice. That would be really cool if we get Tetsuya Naito.
But who has Jericho made enemies with, right? That's what isn't, has he made enemies in Naito?
Yeah,
Okay,
they've
okay.
had matches as far as I'm aware. Um, I'm trying to think back now. Oh well, I'll try to. Well, no, wait. But by the time, anyway, never mind. I don't know. By the time we do our preview show, we may already know
We
who
may
the
know. We
partner
may know.
is.
Yeah.
So yes, then we get one of the absolutely most spectacularly well thought out, amazing segments in wrestling history because we get the blind draw for the tag team tournament, where the winner of the tag team tournament gets a shot at the titles. And when they meant blind draw, we finally get the rules explained. They're going to draw. By the way, that entire announcement for me, and this was total sarcasm, as you'll learn in a moment. The brackets will be announced next week.
Next
We're
week. Yep.
informed. So we aren't even going to know who the brackets are for this tournament
No.
till next week. And when they say blind, they apparently
It's
also meant the
legit.
audience because they pull out two names, little pieces of paper, and they won't tell us who they are. And that's it. They just pulled out two names, looked at the pieces of paper, went, ooh, and then won't tell us who they are. And I wrote down, WTF was this?
Yeah, I didn't understand it either. I mean, of course I was happy to see my boy RJ City, Richmond Hill
Yes.
boy himself. Happy to see him there. And then when I thought they were going to announce the names, and then they're like, oh, those are great names, and that it ended, and I was like, that's the oddest segment I've ever seen on a
And he
show.
told RJ just to keep pulling names.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Okay.
all
So
right.
if they pull two names, we don't even get their opponents' names
No,
pulled out. Nothing. It's just here's a team. Okay. That's
this
great.
was this was stupid. Yeah.
Then we get the Elite backstage. Hangman says Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. Well, that's a numbers advantage, right? Kenny's busy. It's 5-on-3, but the Elite has friends. And Kenny says, it feels like the whole world is against us, but a lot of people hate the Blackpool Combat Club too. And then Eddie Kingston walks in. And he says he hates Claudio more than he hates the Bucks, and he doesn't respect or like the Bucks, but he'll team with them because he hates Claudio more. And he'll announce the fifth person later during his out in the ring promo.
Yeah. This promo was, again, we know, taped and everything like that. I thought it was funny. Like, Eddie Kingston is freaking hilarious. Like, when they were saying, oh, we will forget about the past, and then Eddie Kingston turns to Matt Jackson, here's the smallest violin playing for you right now. I was like, he's so awesome. He's
I
so
love
awesome.
Eddie.
And that's just him, right? That's just him being him. Yeah, he was the best part of this promo. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, so the Bucks, Hangman, Kingston. Hey, listen, I love Eddie Kingston. I'm glad I'm going to see him. I just didn't think in this match, I guess, but okay, all right.
Yep. I mean, it's fine. I think it's gonna be funny watching him tag with the Bucks, and trying to keep him under control and all that
Yeah.
other stuff because he's Eddie Kingston, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. You know who I really don't like with the Bucks is Hangman.
Hangman.
Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, what happened to you? You're boring me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, seriously, you were so much better with the Dark Order.
Yep.
I don't understand what they're doing with him. It's just boring. I'm bored.
Agreed.
But Eddie Kingston, woo! Adam Cole comes out, and we get story time with Adam Cole. He says MJF gave him one of the toughest matches of his career, but Cole didn't win, but neither did MJF. MJF is a coward, though, for not accepting 5 more minutes. He gets why he did it, but he's still a coward. He calls out Max to talk about his rematch, and MJF responds. He congratulates Adam Cole for coming back to his real self last week, and MJF says he takes the credit for dragging that Cole out of him again. Last week, though, if time hadn't run out, MJF had him beat, but because he cares about Cole's health, he's not going to give him a rematch. And now Cole wants to fight right now, though, which makes no sense. Tony Schiavone then interrupts with an announcement. They both tell him to shut up.
That was cool. I like that.
Was funny. But then he tells them they are partners in the tag team tournament. Cole says, what? He doesn't want to team with MJF. MJF just doesn't want to wrestle every week. Which I thought was the greatest. I was like, what? What kind of perverted crap is this? Oh, that was a great line. Anyway, then Tanahashi appears on the screen, though, and dares MJF to show up at Forbidden Door. MJF refuses. Cole says he's scared because he thinks Tanahashi is better than him. The crowd chants coward at MJF. So MJF finally gets pissed off and accepts the match with Tanahashi. And Cole tells him, good luck, partner.
Yeah, this was funny. I laughed a lot in this back and forth. The funny part is MJF is wrestling a lot more. Like it's insane now. But hey, you know, he's I can't complain. Every time he's in the ring, he puts on quite the match, right? So yeah, this was good. I thought this was good. It did what it had to do. It shows that yeah, we are having MJF at the pay-per-view and not Adam Cole. I do think that, you know, they're kind of saving him a bit, obviously with the injuries and stuff like that. And what else was he gonna do, right? Were they gonna make it a triple threat match or whatever? Like I didn't know what they were gonna do. So yeah, we have the matches. Yeah, this was good.
Yep. I think I would have preferred Tanahashi in Japanese subtitled.
Same.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think he would have been able to get a lot more passion and energy across rather than concentrating so hard on his English.
And they subtitled it anyways, so I don't
Yes.
understand.
Yeah, well, that dude. I mean, I didn't even need the subtitles. It's like I can understand every word he's
Yeah,
saying, right? I mean, I don't understand why they subtitle people who are speaking English.
English. Yeah.
It is so, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. But anyway, yeah, good times. But yeah, no, I'm happy to get MJF and Tanahashi at the pay-per-view. That's going to be a very solid match. Doesn't stand a hope in hell of being match of the night, but very solid match.
Yeah. And I mean, they did announce that Danielson's match is the main event. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
expecting big things. We're expecting big things here. So we'll see.
I don't know. Following up us, we know how that
I
goes.
know.
Anyway, they then announced the Owen Hart tournament brackets, and it's a very short tournament this year. There are literally, we start with quarterfinals. So on the men's side, these are your wrestlers for the Owen Hart tournament, where I guess the winner just gets a trophy and bragging rights, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
CM Punk taking on Satoshi Kojima at Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm.
Satoshi Kojima is older than me. He is a New Japan vet who also appears for Noah, for people who do not know who he is. Very famous name in Japanese wrestling. Um, probably a little older than, you know, you would necessarily, but I mean, it's the same age as Jericho, right?
Yeah.
So hey, could be a good match. We'll see. Roderick Strong versus Samoa Joe on June 29th. All the rest are on June 29th on a collision show coming from Hamilton. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Dustin Rhodes and Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks. So they will be wrestling as if they are in a gymnasium in a high school, because that's about how many people who have bought tickets to the Hamilton show right now. Hamilton, buy some tickets. That's all I have to say. TSN puts Collision on now at like midnight. So,
Yeah,
hey, you can see it
watch
later,
it.
right? And then the women's tournament. We have Anna JAS taking on Sky Blue on Rampage this week. And we have Nyla Rose and Willow Nightingale on Collision this week. And then on the Forbidden Door 0 hour, we get Athena taking on Billy Starks.
Yay.
And then, yeah, it'll be good. And then next week on Dynamite, Dr. Britt Baker DMD taking on Ruby Soho.
Okay.
Who's winning these tournaments, Krishna?
Well, Britt and Cole won last year, right?
Yes.
So obviously Cole's not in it, right? So
he's not defending his title.
Yeah.
He can't be bothered defending it, I guess. I don't know why he's not in the tournament.
Billy Starks to win it, but like from the women's side.
Yes.
But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe Britt retains her title again. Maybe. On the men's side, I don't know. Like are we gonna just put CM Punk to win this?
CM Punk's gonna win the tournament because who's gonna beat him? Unless Samoa Joe beats him by cheating, and that sets up their feud.
Or he beats Samoa Joe, and then Samoa Joe gets him eliminated from his next match.
Yeah, but their next match will be the finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the only way he's going to face Samoa Joe in the semis if Joe beats Strong and Punk beats Kojima. So then you're stuck with like Samoa Joe would then have to interrupt Punk in the finals against Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, I guess you know who I think's really going to win this tournament? Powerhouse Hobbs.
Think so? Yeah. I hope. Yeah, that's actually pretty good if he wins it.
Yep. And I'm going to go with Sky Blue on the women's side.
Oh, that's a wild pick there. Okay.
Getting a big push.
All right. She is. She is. I mean, she
Who's
is.
winning? Who do you think's winning on the women's side?
Oh, I mean, I said I think Britt's gonna retain.
Okay, so she's going to repeat. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Well, then we get Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata taking on Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. And this match was basically a showcase for all four guys. A
Yeah.
holy shit chant breaks out at the beginning as Sabre starts against Shibata. They have a solid grappling
Mm-hmm.
exchange. And when I say solid grappling exchange, I mean the kind of grappling you don't get from a lot of people that
Yep.
ends with both of them tagging out. Then Garcia out wrestles Cassidy and gyrates his hips in his face on the turnbuckle to a "you sick" chant.
Oh.
Cassidy hit it. Was that during the commercial?
Yeah, it was
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was
because I
pretty
was
bad.
laughing during the commercial. I
Yes.
laughed so much.
Yep. Cassidy hit a variation of a magistral though for a near fall, and they both tagged out. We get then an amazing catch exchange again until Sabre tags Shibata. Cassidy and Garcia soon have a dance off, and Cassidy does his hands in the pockets thing. Garcia tags in Sabre. They go back and forth now. Cassidy and Sabre go back and forth until Sabre hits a neck snap, and the heels take control. I love that neck snap. Working over Cassidy for quite a while, including Garcia standing on Cassidy's injured hand on the rope. They targeted the hand a fair amount in this match. Sabre put on a straight jacket back rack at one point, and Cassidy finally came in and finally came back and made the hot tag. Shibata soon gets dropped by Sabre though, who tags Garcia, but his strikes just enrage Shibata, who beats the hell out of Garcia, cutting his lip open. Cassidy and Sabre then interfere. Match breaks down until Cassidy clears Sabre from the ring. Shibata hits the corner seated drop kick, snap suplex for two. Garcia counters him into the Dragon Tamer, but Shibata reverses to a heel hook until Sabre snaps his neck and the match breaks down again. And the end comes then when Shibata holds Garcia for the orange punch, but Garcia moves. Shibata eats the orange punch. Garcia rolls up Shibata for the 3 count.
Yeah, this was my number one match. It was a great match. Like the wrestling in this match was actually like pretty awesome. Zack Sabre Jr. like when they were working on Cassidy's arm, you're like, okay, that's this is where the match like it's gonna happen when Zack Sabre Jr. faces him. This is how he's gonna attack him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the back and forth. Garcia looked fantastic in this match too. Holy cow, he looked good. Shibata looking fantastic as well. Like Shibata when he kicked him in the face, I'm pretty sure that's where Cassidy was where Garcia started bleeding for real. But I love Garcia rips his pants, and then like, he ripped his pants gyrating. He didn't, but like it was just it was so funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the the miss and the orange punch connecting with Shibata and the roll up. I love how AEW decided to show the graphic of the 4-way match before the match before anything happened. Right? It's Garcia picks up the belt, and then Zack Sabre Jr. picks up the belt, or they hold it. Yep. And then Shibata hold, and before Shibata even gets there, the graphic shows up. I mean, I do give credit to the announce crew who kind of quickly covered up for there, like, oh yes, and it's just been announced there's gonna be a 4. I'm like, oh, what a stupid, like, Tony Khan, what the hell, man. It's like these little things you're kind of like, oh, you kind of ruined the surprise before it even happened, because we thought it was gonna be a one-on-one Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. I didn't expect a 4-way match, right?
Yep.
But hey, that's gonna be a really, really, really good match.
It will be really good. I would have preferred the 1-on-1.
I get
but
it.
This is what we've got, and it's gonna be good.
I wonder now, because Zack Sabre Jr.'s title is not on the line; it's only Cassidy's. Does Cassidy actually just win again? I kind of feel he's gonna win again, but we'll get to that in our pre-show. But yeah, this match was fantastic. My number one.
Oh yeah, my number one match too. Fantastic. The wrestling itself. I mean, no one. Just the kind of stuff Zack Sabre Jr. does in the ring. But the fact is, you get guys like Cassidy and Shibata and Garcia all with him, right? And it's like I love the way that Sabre and Garcia were working over Cassidy at one point, just like going around the circle around him, doing like holds to his limbs. Just like they trade off next limb. It was so cool. And I just watching Sabre versus either of his opponents was just amazing. He is such a good wrestler. I believe the word I used before was superlative, and I will continue to use that to describe Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah,
he's not just great; he's superlative. Then We get Will Ospreay in the back with Alex Marvez, and Marvez tells him, "You've been disparaging Canada." And Ospreay says, "I perform in civilized countries. Basically, Canada isn't that." And Callis says, Kenny Omega, Don Callis shows up and he says, I get it. I get it. Kenny Omega has been inciting people to violence. And I mean, Toronto is pretty much like the worst place in Canada. He's not wrong. You need security. He's going to make his special, like, military style security force available to him. Is this where, Omega's going to recruit Wardlow to beat up the security?
Oh God. Oh God.
And then Ospreay says, "Well, what do you want for this, though?" And Callis just says, "I just want a fair fight. Get a 3 count."
Yeah. First of all, Toronto is the best city in the world, and everyone else is just jealous. Ask everyone else in the Canada where the best city is, and they're like, "Oh, not Toronto." Jealousy. It sucks.
Krishna,
It is
hey,
true.
have you looked at our traffic recently?
I take the go. Listen, I'm just telling you, Toronto's still just the best place to be. I love Toronto, and I'll always defend it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's because you haven't lived anywhere else in Canada.
and I will never live anywhere else in Canada. But
Have you even been to anywhere else in Canada?
Montreal.
That doesn't count. Montreal's like French Toronto.
That's all right. It's all right. Again, want to be Toronto. But I'm curious who Don Callis is going to bring out here because first of all, when I saw Will Ospreay, I'm like, Ospreay must be wrestling on Rampage. And hey, guess what happens later? Ospreay is going to be wrestling on Rampage. And I was like, okay, so Callis is out here. He's not. He wouldn't say his own. Like, what do he call them? Military type security,
paramilitary
right?
security
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
I feel like he's bringing out like special guests. That's what my assumption is. Who he's probably bringing out some. But yeah, this was good, and I love Will at the end was kind of like, but what do you get out of this?
Yeah.
Right? Still questioning him, and he's like, I just want you to get that 1, 2, 3. That's it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty clear Will does not trust Don.
No,
Callis.
definitely not. So that's a cool exchange because even though like Will hates Kenny, he doesn't trust Don Callis, obviously, right? So I like this setup. I am very curious where this is going, but yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I really hope that the match they have at Forbidden Door is clean. That's it.
Yes, agreed.
Tony Storm and Willow Nightingale have a promo vid where basically they both talk about each other's talents and how good each other is, but they don't necessarily respect each other and they think each other has the wrong approach. And the match assigned, but it's only for the AEW Women's World Championship at Forbidden Door. Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale. That's your women's match.
Yeah, last year we had a women's match, which was AEW as well. So I mean, like, why am I surprised? Yeah,
Tony, why didn't you call Stardom? Why didn't you call Stardom, Kenny?
I don't know.
Kenny, Tony.
Tony. Yeah, good point. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway. Okay. TBS Championship match. This was our main event of the evening, Krishna. Kris Statlander taking on Taya Valkyrie. This match was mostly strike and kick based. They fought back and forth a bit until Statlander dumped Valkyrie out of the ring. Statlander hit a moonsault off the apron to the floor. Taya took control by drop kicking Statlander into the barricade. She beat her down for quite a while, getting a near fall with a running knee strike. Statlander comes back with some hard strikes, though. Running knee, leg hook Michinoku driver for 2. Taya took control again, though, with an innovative double underhook sit out drop for 2. But Statlander caught her on the turnbuckle, superplex, Wednesday Night Fever for the 3.
I mean, there's nothing bad about this match in any way. It just was my number 4 out of the 5, right? I mean, it was standard. Valkyrie and Statlander didn't look bad at all. They looked pretty good. It was really weird choice to be the main event. I guess because it was the only title defense tonight. That's probably why.
Sure.
It was the main event. But I just it didn't progress the story. It just kind of ended it. And then nothing happened. And my assumption is that they're going to leave that till next week, maybe after Forbidden Door, because they had 2 announcements coming up. But just one thing happened after. But yeah, this was kind of it was good. It was good, but again, number 4.
Yeah, the match didn't suck. My number 4 too. It was like the first match. I'm not going to remember anything about this match.
Yeah.
Except for maybe, the pretty cool Michinoku driver that
Hmm.
Statlander does. And
Hmm.
that spot by Taya Valkyrie was pretty innovative. They pulled out a couple of like nice little innovative things that I went, oh wow, hey, that was pretty cool. Right. But the match itself was kind of slow in places. There was a lot of like slower chopping and stuff, and not like the cool chopping you get in like, strong style stuff. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like they're hitting each other. It was almost the female version of two big men slapping meat for a while,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
number 4. Then Eddie Kingston comes to the ring and he says there's a lot going on. Oh, but he comes to the ring after, of course, Taya and them have left, right? Just to make that clear, he did not come out and hang out with Taya Valkyrie and Kris Statlander.
Statlander.
Yes. He says there's a lot going on he doesn't agree with. Mox is mad that Kingston is teaming with the Bucks, who Kingston doesn't like, but I hate Claudio. He reminds us of that again. Mox comes to the ring, though. Of course, he had to come to the ring through the stands. I don't get it. And he says, I love this line that it goes, if they stand behind you, protect them. If they stand
Mhm.
beside you, respect them. If they stand across from you, destroy them. And
Destroy.
you drew the line. And Kingston says, you teamed with that scumbag. You drew the line, not me. And then he says, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Say it. And like they had some kind of weird little exchange. And Kingston's like, well, you're not going to say it. It's fine. I'll just announce the member myself. And he says, Tomohiro Ishii. And Ishii comes out, but then the Blackpool Combat Club jumps them all and beats them down. And then Danielson tells Okada to come out or he's going to stomp Ishii's face in. So Okada comes out and this clears the ring and he's staring down Danielson, but then Yuta jumps Okada from behind. But Okada dodges a Busaiko knee attempt. Danielson takes out Yuta, but then Danielson dodges the Rainmaker, but Yuta does not. And then Okada and Danielson stare down to end the show.
Yeah, interesting fact about John Moxley. When he comes through the audience with his water bottles that he throws, he actually signs each and every one of the water bottles. So whoever the fan that either gets hit with it or gets it gets a free John Moxley autograph to take home. That
Oh,
was
that's
something
so cool.
I learned recently. So he signs every single bottle that he goes out there with and throws. He signs it. So that's kind of cool. And that's why I guess that's why he does it and throws it into the audience, I guess, because someone gets some a souvenir to take home.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that him coming to the ring and saying that, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm like, John Moxley, where do you come up with this stuff? This is
I don't
so
know,
cool,
but
right?
that was like the best.
Right? I'm like, this is so awesome. And then just like you're wondering, okay, so someone's gonna have to attack Kingston because Mox and Kingston are just not gonna fight each other, right? Um, and of course it happens. We saw the Ishii thing, like the minute that um that they were saying let's go announce it. I'm like, I had a feeling it's gonna be Ishii. Like there's nobody
Yeah.
else I can think of. It's gonna be Ishii. When Ishii came out, I'm like, okay, Mox and stuff like that. Danielson, then obviously Okada comes out, which the pop Okada got, holy crap,
Yep.
right? Oh my God. Understandably, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I'm excited for this match. Like that
Oh
stare
yeah.
down these two guys just gave each other. Like I'm very excited to see what Okada and Danielson can do, right? Seeing how they're going to be given the main event spot.
They won't disappoint. This is not
No,
going to
they
be Okada
definitely
and Jay
won't.
White.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not like that match was bad. That was a good
No,
match.
yeah,
It followed up Okada Ospreay, which right now stands as the
yeah.
match of the year in
The
all
year.
of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. One of the greatest matches of all time. So
Yeah.
yeah, you follow up one of the greatest matches of all time, it's gonna hurt. But
Those guys are going at it. Omega and Ospreay are going at it again. Like who knows what
yeah.
spot they're gonna get put in on Sunday. My assumption is gonna be second last if Danielson's getting the last spot.
Yeah, I think it'll depend on if New Japan has any say in the way the card runs as well, which they might. Um, which is probably also why, Okada and Danielson gets top billing because Okada is, of course, New
The
Japan's
top.
big guy,
Yeah.
top guy. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. But here's the thing though. Danielson and Okada, like you were talking about Jericho and Sting, we're also getting Danielson and Okada
For her
first
first time.
time
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
right? That is monumental.
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be freaking insane. I mean, if you're gonna follow up Ospreay and Omega, what better way to do it than Okada and Danielson? All right. I mean, you've got four of the greatest professional wrestlers in the world, bar none.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the kind of quality of wrestling we're probably going to get to see on Sunday blows my mind. Yep.
It's gonna be
So
insane.
yeah, I know. And there's so many people left off the card that could make surprise appearances at local gigs in Toronto at the
Oof.
same time,
We'll
right?
see. We'll
So
see.
you never know, you never know. But yeah, that was tonight's show. Was anything on this show at the Omega level?
Um, at the Omega level, I don't think any of the matches were Omega level. Um, I don't know. I think all I think is that, like, but I mean the pop that Okada got last year too was basically the same, right? They were like Omega level pops, but yeah, matches wise wasn't really anything on here Omega level.
No, I'm going to say no.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good stuff. It's not like the whole thing. I mean, it was the wrestling. I didn't give anything over 3.75 stars, though. Right? I
yeah.
mean, there was nothing on the show that is tipped. Like usually, Dynamite's got at least one 4 star. you Not tonight. And this is like the second Dynamite I think in the last 4 Dynamites that I've
Mm,
had the problem of like nothing beat 4 stars.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's not great. But it didn't suck. I enjoyed it. There were a
Mhm.
lot of good matches. Um, hey, we got a lot of build for Forbidden Door at last. I mean, it only took them until 5 days before the actual show, but we finally got a lot of build for Forbidden Door.
I love how
Now,
they were showing like legit the Owen Hart tournament, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this match is on Forbidden Door, and this one here is on." Is they're like, "What?
yeah,
What? Like?"
way to build. Yeah, I know we're
Yeah,
getting Billy Starks at Forbidden Door at the pre-show match
it's
show.
awesome.
So yeah, it is. I mean, Athena versus Billy Starks. That's gonna be great.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. I mean, I'll probably enjoy that more than Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, nothing for the Omega level for me either. But yeah, yeah. But that brings our Dynamite review to a close. We will be back later this week with our previews for Forbidden Door, our preview for the big Smash cards coming up this weekend as well. And of course, we will be bringing you a special edition, assuming everything goes properly, of our review of Forbidden Door. We will be doing it live reaction right after the pay-per-view once we get to the car, and we will be recording immediately after
Yep.
Forbidden Door, having attended the event live. We will know nothing about the commentary. We will know nothing about anything except the in building reactions to Forbidden Door, and we will bring all of that to you. But for now, as the great one always says, goodbye, everyone, and good night. Bang.
Good night, everyone.